What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jacob Daniel back at it again here at the Speed Kills podcast. And today we are talking about the AAF, which is the Alliance of American Football. And just a quick overview of this. I'm a really big fan of this league. I'm a big fan of football, and I think this fills the void that happens after the NFL season, ends and there's no football. And I've really enjoyed actually watching the game. I think there's some good talent. There's some good players in this league. The games are overall fun to watch, and there are some really good coaches in this league. I think the coaches' playing experience doubles that of the NFL. I know that Hines Ward, Michael Vick, and Troy Polamalu all are coaches in this league, as well as Steve Spurrier. He coaches one of the better teams, which is the Orlando Apollos. And the games are fun to watch. For example, week 2, there was a matchup between two of the better teams in this league, which were the San Antonio Commanders and the Orlando Apollos. It was very close. It was a really good football game played by both teams. The Apollos ended up winning, but I was on the edge of my seat watching it, and I thought overall that it was a great game. And even in week 1, there were some competitive games, and overall, it was really fun to watch. The games are nationally broadcasted on CBS and NFL Network, and I think that's really helping this league get out there and get viewers. And there's a lot of people that are ended up coming to these games and watching them. For example, week 1, the AAF game that was on CBS had more viewers than the NBA game between the Thunder and the Rockets. I think it was a really big NBA game, and it had more viewing than that. People love football out there, and the AAF is giving them good content and good football to watch. The rule changes that are in the AAF, there's no kickoffs. Every team has to go for 2, and I think that's a good mix-up of rules, and it keeps the game going. And another thing that I really like about the AAF is they have a 35-second play clock that ends directly after the play has ended, and that keeps the game rolling. It keeps it fluid, and it's a fast-paced game. The quarters go pretty fast in the games. I think they're trying to have them under 3 hours. I really like that. I think that overall it's very good for the viewer because you get a lot of football in a little amount of time, and it keeps things rolling. There's not as much, dead time, air time, and in playing time in these games. So I think the rule changes are very, very good, and I welcome them with open arms. I'm not sure if the NFL will ever accept any of these rules, but I do like a lot of them. I think the 2-point conversion, it's really hard to get a 2-point conversion, so I think it's very interesting that they require them to go for 2. There are some concerns with this league that I have, specifically that money has been an issue early on. The players did not get paid in week 1, which is scary for me. There was a mess up in the banking system, and they didn't end up getting paid. And in week 2, they had to be saved by Carolina Hurricanes hockey team owner, and he invested $250 million into the league, and that overall kind of saved the league and put them back on their feet and gave them money to operate, which it's crazy to think about that they're not getting funding with all these viewership and with their fan bases that they're drawing. Another concern that I have is some of the talent isn't good. I said earlier that there is some good talent, but there is some bad talent in this league. For example, the Memphis Express, they're not a very good team, and it seems as if the talent isn't spread out. There's like probably 4 good teams and 2 probably average teams and then 2 bad teams. One of the players that comes to my mind specifically is Christian Hackenberg. Christian Hackenberg was a second-round pick in the NFL, and he just didn't pan out. And he is still bad in the AAF. He's not performing, and it just makes me mad to watch players like this in this league when there's clearly better players and better people to watch. And I just don't like watching bad football like that. So that's a worry for me. And between the AAF and this new league that's coming out in 2020 is a revamp of the 2001 XFL, which is the Extreme Football League. Ultimately, one of these leagues will end up staying, and I think that the AAF will be the one to stay if anyone stays, because they already have a good fan base. They were the first ones to come out. It's a lot more solid than the XFL was when it came out in 2001, and I think that the AAF will eventually reach a deal with the NFL to become their minor league system. The XFL, it's 1 year out, and they don't have much news coming out about it. And the AAF, they about a year before they had a bunch of news coming out, a bunch of press releases, head coaches being named, and you don't hear about that at all in the XFL. Those are my overall opinions of the Alliance of American Football. I'm a big fan of this league. Like I said, I am a football fan at its core, and I think that this gives me the football that I want to watch, especially with the better teams. And make sure to stay tuned here at the Speed Kills podcast, as I'm hoping to come out with new content. I haven't been around for a quick second due to college and just some other things that have came up, but I'm hoping to have some of my friends on the podcast and hopefully talk with them about sports and just, have a good time and provide content for you guys out there. So I thank you for listening. This has been Jacob here at the Speed Kills podcast. Peace.